Come on, you got a surprise for you. Come on, hurry up. Gotta get out of here.
You're tugging me too hard.
Exact conversation I had with my college girlfriend during Jean-Claude Van Damme night at our local BDSM film dungeon somehow makes it into the show. Since we're nitpicking this incredible show anyway, why the does Morty have a coat hung up on the wall here? Does he really have no closet? Or is this a trophy from a serial killing?
Morty is a high school age kid. He's not going to be organized. I can tell you from experience that high schoolers do not put things in closets.
Rick turns on a light, but the obvious light on the ceiling does not light up, coming from some magical source in a room with only one switch.
Would it really be out of the realm of possibility to say that Rick, who is a genius scientist with basically infinite knowledge, created a better lighting system for Morty's room?
Come on, you got a surprise for you. Come on, hurry up. Gotta get out of here.
You're tugging me too hard.
Exact conversation I had with my college girlfriend during Jean-Claude Van Damme night at our local BDSM film dungeon somehow makes it into the show.
Jeremy makes a cringy joke that isn't a sin of the episode cliche.
I built it out of stuff I found in the garage.
Did you, though? The trash can and the flashlight, sure. But I'm pretty sure you had to get this high-density bubble glass and these giant screws custom-made. Where did you find the giant cylinder base for this spaceship in the garage? It also looks like most of the stuff that you attach to this thing wouldn't aid in flying, but hinder it.
Rick is a scientist who makes super advanced technology in his free time. I feel like he probably could have found all this stuff in the garage. You know, it's his workspace. Also, you're complaining about a trash can not being able to power a spaceship, and while that's true in the real world, this show is a cartoon. Get used to it.
Also, I know Rick and Morty wears its references on its sleeve, but this opening theme song couldn't be more Doctor Who if Tom Baker and David Tennant were in a threesome with the ghost of William Hartnell while Russell T Davies watched.
This sin only exists so you can make a threesome joke, so f*** you.
Also, intro promises an episode where Morty is a robot and doesn't come through ever. There are 2 or 3 other things in this the intro promises and doesn't deliver, and I'm calling my local Adult Swim about it.
You know what? I'm gonna remove a sin for this because a Robot Morty episode would be a banger.
What is this pink liquid? Are the Smiths drinking Pepto for breakfast? I mean, with this family, I guess that might make sense.
It's a f***ing cartoon, Jeremy. Also, this is probably a drink that Rick concocted for the family, cause, you know, he's a f***ing genius scientist.
You know what I named these? My little Mortys. Do you know what I want you to do with them?
Rename them?
Honestly, this kind of joke deserves a sin removal, but he's dreaming about this. So he's dreaming about Jessica showing him her boobs, having her call them her little Mortys, and then negging her for it. It's like he mastered Neil Strauss's The Game, but is only good at it when he's dreaming.
First of all, that fake laugh at the beginning of the sin was faker than a Morgs video. Second, sinning this joke is a sin itself. Lastly, Morty is an idiot and also super weird, so why is it ridiculous that he would have a dream like this?
Now, if you just stick with me, Morty, we're gonna be... Holy crap, Morty, run!
Predator pauses predatoring, prioritizing panicking protagonist punchline past partaking of perfectly palatable people.
Alliteration.
We're gonna die!
First act ends on a cliffhanger for a commercial break, only to return with Rick and Morty no longer in danger and the monster gone, and nobody mentioning it again. And sure, that could be some sort of comedic point about the worthlessness of commercial cliffhangers, but you'd think a show like this might acknowledge it a little bit.
Do you honestly want them to acknowledge the cliffhanger joke? Would Morty spontaneously explaining the joke to the audience really make this episode any better?
Just take these shoes, Morty.
I convenience them out of my lab coat of conveniences.
It's a fucking cartoon. Deal with it.
These things really bring it all together. You have to turn them on, Morty!
Sure, Rick looks like a total asshole for not telling Morty about turning the shoes on before he fell into the ravine, but Morty's kind of an asshole for being this trusting of Rick and deciding to dive in headfirst without even a question.
How does trusting Rick too much make Morty the asshole? It's Rick who's the asshole.
Morty survives this. Is he immortal?
Okay, you know what? I'm making this an official cliche. Ready? Jeremy doesn't know what a cartoon is cliche.
Yeah, it's a cartoon, I get it, but in what alternate universe can a leg broken in at least 3 places continue to stay elevated like this?
Jeremy doesn't know what a cartoon is cliche.
I went into a future dimension with such advanced medicine that they had broken leg serum at every corner drugstore.
Nice echoing of the Back to the Future line there, but what kind of place is it that people are breaking their legs so much that a broken leg serum is a viably mass-produced medicine?
Jeremy doesn't understand comedy cliche.
Rick separates this seed, but there is somehow a full seed in each half. Now, knowing this show, that could completely be intentional, and is some sort of paradoxical joke that will be retconned into a storyline in season 42. But the pickings here be slim, so for now.
You literally just said that the full seeds thing was probably intentional, so why are you sinning it?
I'm gonna need you to take these seeds into the bathroom, and I'm gonna need you to put them way up inside your butthole, Morty.
Morty full of grace.
Good reference, I guess, but in Maria Full of Grace, she didn't shove the pellets up her ass, she swallowed them.
They'll fall right out of mine. I've done this too many times, Morty.
Sure, Rick is a quasi-evil, drunken asshole and an unreliable character overall, but didn't he tell Morty...
What do you think, I can just do it all by myself?
And now he's saying he's done this lots of times? Maybe Rick just wanted to spend time with Morty, I'll grant that, but I'm taking my sin and going home.
Again, you just said the reason why this isn't a sin, and you're still sinning it. You for thinking you can get away with that.
Come on, Morty. Please, Morty, you have to do it, Morty.
Man, Rick says Morty at least 100 times in this first episode. I'm sure it's on purpose for some sort of comedic effect, but damn, the effect wears off quick.
Jeremy doesn't understand comedy cliché. Yes, you did take a sin off, and that's very good. However, that laugh was fake as
Oh, look, honey, it's our son with Albert Eindouche.
I mean, Nikola Tesla was right there, but sure, whatever.
Jeremy makes a cringy joke that isn't a sin of the episode cliché.
Sure, this background joke is hilarious because it's a towing company that has a mascot that's a toe with eyes named Toe, whose catchphrase is I tow, which could both be interpreted as I am doing towing, as well as hello, my name is Toe. But the important thing to note here is that toes don't bend like that.
Holy shit, you really are stretching for sins in this one, aren't you?
I didn't know hanging out with you was making me smarter.
Temporary superintelligence is just a side effect of the mega seeds dissolving in your rectal cavity.
Oh, really? Then why did Morty only show superintelligence when you asked him questions to fool his mom and dad? Feels rather convenient, but how can I hate this show?
Jeremy doesn't know what a cartoon is cliché.